Too often when people talk about trade, they think about the movement of consumer goods or of electronics or of automobiles or chemical products, physical products. But behind all of that, there are services, and many of our economies, most of the economies indeed in the Asia-Pacific region, are largely services economies. If you think about it, an automobile, such as is manufactured here in Detroit, is merely a pile of steel without engineers, marketers, people involved in the finance, people involved in the design. That's where our strength really lies. We want to ensure that the strength of our economies is not just based on who has access to the resources or who has the largest manufacturing sector. We want to tap into people's talents. As we look to the future, we think about where are the jobs going to come from. They're going to be largely knowledge-based jobs in the services sector. So we have a number of gaps that we need to fill in the services area, and the APEC Group on Services and APEC as a whole is addressing those gaps. First are the kinds of gaps that were revealed by the pandemic and the collapse in services in certain areas, and specifically in areas like travel, tourism, logistics services, and services like conferencing, which of course during a pandemic completely collapsed. So although certain types of services, digitally enabled services, continued to grow, that growth was overshadowed by the complete collapse of other kinds of services. Those services are beginning to recover, but not fast enough. And we're working on finding ways to ensure that governments remove the unnecessary barriers to things like logistics services so that ships can move in times of crisis and that our economies can all recover. We're also looking at unique challenges that are becoming more apparent as we move into this century. Environmental challenges, for example. We are working on a list of the services which contribute or have the best potential to contribute to improvement of the environment and addressing the challenge of climate change. The Group on Services is also looking at inclusiveness and how do we tap into the talents of all people in the Asia-Pacific region, including underrepresented groups such as women. And also we're beginning to look at inclusiveness of other groups and ensuring that we are taking advantage of the talents of all people in our region.